minute.
And we are live from LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, but not Facebook because there is an error. It's Revening's Whiskey Wednesday. Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday, the last of two for 2023. Hey, Jenna, what's up? Good to see you, Queen. Sorry, we're just 5 minutes late, just a little fashionably late. AP, I saw you called. Thank you. I know you were so concerned that we weren't getting started on time. But you all know this conversation is about you in the audience. So ask us questions, keep us honest, enter to win prizes, which I'll be introducing you to here. Lydia, unfortunately, will not be with us tonight because they're throwing a party for the staff at the mortuary. So those of you who watch often know that her husband runs and they live in a mortuary. So she's unable to attend tonight. So sending her all our love. So go ahead and tag Lydia, give her some love. She'll be doing the phone-a-thon, I believe, for Tom tomorrow. But let me show you really quick what we have going on tonight. So for the prizes, it's a little bit different. I'm going to be asking you to write sentences to comment to win tonight. So the first sentence, you need to start it off with marketing rocks because fill in the blank, and that's how you'll enter to win prize one. So on and so forth. So biz efficiency is important because I want to know why. And you can be silly if you want. I don't care. But the last one, I love sales because the last prize is the guest prizes. So you're going to want to get the Chili Piper hot sauce. I don't want to give it up, but I really just did. But let's get into these prizes really quick. So when you're entering prize one, let's see. I guess I don't have a prize one slide. So prize one slide prize one is my program. You get 1 week free in it, as well as Kiwi Writer. So Kiwi Writer is an AI tool that'll help you write your blogs. You just put in your keywords and it generates it for you. If you go look at reventing.com and you see my blog, both those blogs were created with Kiwi Writer. So definitely check that out for prize one, Marketing Rocks, because would love to have you in the program for a week. And then we have prize two, Cherry Assistant. This is 30 minutes with DJ Kim himself on business efficiency strategy for you. So biz efficiency is important. You fill in the blank to enter to win that prize. VA and email for the win, FTW, because this is 10 hours of virtual assistant service. So like anything you want. 10 hours, you're entering to win someone to enter your data, help you check your email. So there's all these different things they can help you with cold calling. So enter to win 10 hours with your own VA, but with this keyword here, as well as Lydia's course, Cracking the Cold Email Code. This is the Ruby Projects course. So you'll be getting that if you win prize three. So real quick, prize four is Luna.ai, an AI tool to help you with your cold email. Try 3 months free and Grove cookies. These are delicious. So type in AI for email because, and I know you all want these prizes. So I'm jumping from 90 to go to 5. So we've got prize 5. We got lavender for a year. Only enter this if you don't already have lavender and you haven't already won. VAs and email for the win because... And then you'll get 1 year free with them. Prize 6 is headsets are great because, and I'm very excited to announce next year, Headset Advisor is going to give away cordless headsets again. Woo! So very excited. Thank you, Headset Advisor. I'm grateful for our partnership, and we'll be leveling up those headsets come 2024. But we've still got 2 more of these to give out. So definitely headsets are great because enter to win that headset. So that's prize 6. Where did prize 7 go? You're going to hear from our guests here in just a second about these prizes because these are from them. But you got the chili piper hot sauce. I don't know if it's this one in particular, but I found this one on the internet. And then from 6 to 7 figures, you're going to hear from Austin himself about this. Next week, we have more hot guests for our last episode of 2023. We got Craig Bryan and Riley Blaisdell himself. I know you all know Riley, so tag Riley, give him some love. Looking forward to have him on here. But let's go ahead and bring in our guests, Arthur and Austin. Thank you so much for joining us here at Whiskey Wednesday. How's it going tonight?
It's going good. Yeah, this is an honor. I've been following the show since I think you guys came out last year. So it's cool to be on this with Austin, who I'm sure I'll get to know a little bit more during this hour here.
Yeah, thanks for having me as well. Excited to learn from and with both you guys, and hopefully we can give some good value along the way.
That sounds great. And while we have you up, Austin, I'm going to put our 2 minutes up. Could you please just tell our audience your story and who you are and how you went from wherever that was to where you are today, giving away that awesome prize that one lucky winner might get tonight?
Yeah, my name's Austin Netzley. I live in Austin, Texas, to make it easy. Austin and Austin. I'm a mechanical engineer turned entrepreneur, investor, and now author as well. And to come full circle, after starting 4 different businesses and now leading to my 5th business, now what we do at my company 2X is teach people how to turn their business into a systemized machine. So I never knew how my mechanical engineering degree was going to impact my career because I knew I didn't want to actually do mechanical engineering, but going full circle from an investing business to an agency to a couple other businesses now brings it back full circle to take an engineering approach to business growth. So we're talking about some marketing systems and ultimately scaling so that you don't have to work more hours as you grow to the next level here today.
Love that. That's so awesome. And mechanical engineering. Wow, that's quite a degree to have. My husband has a degree in mechanical engineering, but he still works in very technical type of realms. So that's a really interesting background to have in sales. Would love to hear from anyone else in the back in the audience. Has anyone here studied engineering or been in engineering? Like that's definitely an interesting background to have. And Arthur, tell us all about you. I know so many of us type 1 in the comments if you have seen Arthur on LinkedIn, going to different trade shows, because I know I have. So sometimes I feel like I just know you. And 2, if this is just your first time meeting Arthur, but Arthur, while we're hearing from our audience on that, would love to hear from you in the 2 minutes. Tell us your story.
Yeah. So I've been in tech sales for about 8 years now. Always had an AE job. Started off at Chili Piper as an AE. But somewhere along the way, started getting heavily recruited by our marketing team. So I think they saw what I was doing a little bit on LinkedIn. I was definitely on the community train, especially during the pandemic. And they thought, hey, if this guy's already doing some of the things that we want this new marketing hire to do, why don't we bring him into the fold? So met with a couple people. Nick Bennett actually got me really excited about field marketing, but the way he described it, he was like, I probably would never invest in trade shows, like, doing more like regional intimate events. And lo and behold, as soon as I get into marketing, I'd say it's like 50 to 70% trade shows. And I'm like, oh my God, Nick did not tell me this was what's in store for me. And I kind of went in with a preconceived bias saying, sure, we'll try out a couple of these trade shows. I don't think they'll work. And then we can do the things that I really want to do. But lo and behold, trade shows were actually pretty effective for us. And that was the first time where it started to click to me that like, you really need to take an integrated approach to marketing. And we're doing a ton on social, a ton through communities, and it helped our field marketing program. Along the way, it definitely evolved to becoming like doing content at events. And that's where, I guess I've built somewhat of a following in terms of some of the trade show content I've done. There's the escalator hot take where I have to give a hot take every time I go to some of these trade shows. And yeah, it's been really cool. Like, I think I met Jesse on go-to-market games and Hype Cycle, and we competed there. And it's funny, every time I speak with somebody like Jesse, that's fractional marketing VP, CMO, they're like, oh, we see your trade show content everywhere, and we tell our team and we send them your videos. This is what we have to be doing at conferences. So it's definitely evolved. And I guess now we're writing the new B2B marketing playbook on how to do trade shows, right?
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, thank you both so much for sharing. And audience, I see a 1 in the chat. So definitely Mia has seen some of your trade show content. But yeah, let's continue the conversation. And I think, Arthur, you said you're kicking us off on this first topic, which is navigating the buyer journey from form fill to first call for inbound leads. I'm going to pop it up on the screen here. Could you just take this moment and kick us off on this topic?
Yeah, of course. So I guess maybe it's a secret, maybe it's not. This is a lot of what we focus on at Chili Piper. And I think there's been this gold standard that people seem to accept and believe, but very rarely, I guess it's more difficult in terms of like the speed to lead, right? If you can get to them in under 5 minutes, that's definitely going to help your chances of converting them. And one of the first pieces I actually did in terms of a blog article for Chili Piper was in partnership with Nevatic. And we had this crazy idea where we wanted to look at the top 100 SaaS companies and put them through the ringer. And I used an actual Chili Piper email. I didn't use a Gmail or anything like that. And we went through these top 100 SaaS companies and we submitted a demo request, but we also did a couple of other things in terms of research. So we wanted to see, did they even have pricing? If they did have a pricing page, did it actually have pricing on it? Did they allow people to book right upon form submission, right? As soon as you fill out that form, are they letting me book into a calendar? Do they have an interactive demo? And then we also measured how long it took on average to get a human response time. So I'll start talking a little bit. I'll drop this. I don't think I'm on the LinkedIn, but I'll drop it in our chat here, Jesse, if you want to share it. But we did this B2B buyer journey report, and I can tell you guys there is a lot of work to be done. So first off, 57% of the top 100 SaaS companies had pricing there. And I'll let maybe some of the people in the chat guess how many of those pricing pages had actual pricing on it. Only 17% of companies had an interactive demo, so still very early on. I thought calendar scheduling was going to be a little bit more accepted by the B2B audience, but we found that only 11% of these top 100 SaaS companies had direct calendar booking after. And I know we're always going for that gold standard of 5 minutes. On average, the response time was 2 days. It took me 2 days to receive a human response. And these are some of the companies that a lot of us probably look up to and say, hey, they have got it figured out. This is who we aspire to be. But there's tons of room for improvement on where they're really at in terms of their inbound process and how they're really prioritizing that buyer journey versus more or less forcing people through their sales process, right? And saying, hey, we need to have a qualifying call before you see a demo. And hey, by the way, maybe we need to book a third call for a solutions engineer to show you a true demo. And it's getting a little out of hand. And yeah, this was just one report that we did that really came to show that there's a lot of room for improvement, even with these companies that are killing it. They're the top 100 SaaS companies brought to you by KeyPlay. And yeah, it was fun we went into it thinking, okay, they probably have their operations in order. And yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement there.
Oh, you're muted.
I can't believe so many businesses don't have a calendar. We were just talking about I'm the queen of mute button. So hashtag Jesse's on mute. Audience, let me know if you've seen me go on mute before, because if you've watched this show, it happens at least a couple times. But no, I know what you mean, though. Like, I was talking to someone the other day and I was very shocked when they were like, oh, you have a calendar link? And I was like, whoa, yeah, I'm a ninja. Like, what's your, I don't know. I'm guessing you have a calendar link, Austin.
I do, but I try to not give that out as much as possible. I try to leverage our sales team to make sure that they're the ones that are getting that right. But I love what you were sharing there is you mentioned some things related to the numbers, and the more that you can track the numbers and see the numbers, it just gives you so much clarity. But few people are actually doing that, right? It's like one of the things that will just make your life so much easier. It helps tell you exactly what's going on and what you need to do and what's broken and what you need to fix and how the team is doing. But few people are actually tracking that. So I love that you guys went deep into some of the numbers to start to see what's out there and talk about the speed to response and engagement there. That's huge. And somebody put in the chat, like, hey, how's the customer journey changed? Well, one thing for us is like we realized that those conversations and those interactions and that speed to respond is like monumental versus where it was just even a couple of years ago, So I feel like what you're sharing, Arthur, is just so impactful and powerful.
Yeah, it definitely took us by surprise because we were thinking, yeah, these companies definitely have it all figured out. But yeah, still so much. And like it goes even more in depth. I think on average, there's only like 3 emails. The funny thing, I don't know why I did this, but I put my cell phone in there. And even like 3 months after, I was still getting these calls. But the tough thing about like inbound calls is they all show up as unknown numbers. And I don't know about you two, but very rarely am I picking up an unknown number. So maybe these people were doing their job, but I'm like, I don't know who's calling me and trying to get in touch with me. And yeah, a lot of people gave up after like 1 email. So it's very interesting that like we spend all this money on marketing and getting people to the website and actually filling it out. And then it's like, I'll maybe call them once, maybe send an email once, and I'm not gonna jump through hoops. They'll come back, but chances are they're probably actually on your competitor's webpage. And we hear countless stories of like they had no business winning the deal, but it took a week to hear from the incumbent, and lo and behold, they started looking up at competitors. And by the time the incumbent's actually trying to book that first meeting, they might even be on the second or third call discussing pricing. And yeah, I hear these stories time and time again of like I think buyers already know that they're not necessarily even purchasing the best product. It's like product that solves my problems, fair price, and you let me get through the sales process. That might be the winner there. So it's it's very interesting how the customer journey has changed.
And really analyzing the customer journey on something that works for you, I feel like is a really good process, right? Like if you start to go down something, you're like, wow, this is really good. Start to analyze what they did and do that in your own business. So I recently went through this when I had a little fire at my house and I needed an electrician to fix it. And like I just did a little search and I reached out to like 3 of them. A couple of them didn't even get back to me, and one got back to me right away. And I was just like working through their entire process. And I was like, they've got this entire customer journey dialed. It's fast, it's easy. And I ultimately paid them many thousands more than I was planning to pay, but I really loved the experience and I was happy to do so. And I even asked them, hey, where can I go and leave a 5-star review? Because I really enjoyed my experience, even though I paid way more than I expected because the customer journey was so good.
And people will do that because they want to have a good experience. I love that story. So Dean had asked Arthur, are you advocating more full cycle salespeople?
100%, Dean. I feel so strongly about this. I think we've over segmented sales too much. Like it kind of begs the question, like, what are AEs even doing now? Because they can't prospect, right? They have to demo, but now we have solutions engineers, and we've even like divided the SDR between like outbound and inbound. So I'm really hoping for the return of the full cycle sales rep. We've even measured this across our customers. Where if they're bypassing that initial SDR qualification call and letting them book directly on AEs, we've seen win rates increase up to 3 times just having a single sales rep through that entire process. So I think, again, like if you're looking at it through the angle of what's in the best interest of the customer, none of these people like to be handed off between departments and saying, thanks, that's good enough for my AE. Now let me pass you over to them. And chances are you're probably repeating the same information to them because they're not looking at the notes or there's some loss of information there. So Dean, absolutely. I'm like a huge advocate of this. I hope it comes back to it. And who knows, maybe with the rise and prominence of AI, we can start filling some of these gaps that AEs apparently can no longer prospect or do the demos themselves. I'm definitely a huge advocate for full cycle sales. What are your thoughts, Austin?
Absolutely. And at the same time, in our world that we see, I love to have an admin support with a high level salesperson. I feel like that combination can go a long way. So I feel like a lot of people can get drained and drowned in so many of the things they shouldn't be doing. So it's definitely a balance, but you're right. Nobody likes to be handed off to somebody else. So if somebody can own that full cycle, it's definitely a positive there.
Yes, great points. And actually, I was a full cycle salesperson at one point, and it started off as me being in marketing and picking up the phone and wondering what was happening with some leads and the sales team needing support. But yeah, I think it worked for our team at the end of the day, because everyone had a clear picture to marketing. They could tell, these people that are coming in from this channel, they actually do end up closing because they were the same people who were then going back and nurturing them. Because of course, you don't just want the customers who close once; you want them to buy a couple times, right? And so I felt like with full cycle salespeople, we got the full story from a marketing perspective. But we need to switch gears. Love everyone's questions. Keep them coming. Austin, can you kick us off a little bit on leveraging systems to scale sales and marketing?
Yeah, Arthur mentioned the word secret earlier. I feel like systems are one of the secrets, and they're not necessarily a secret, but it's underutilized. That's for sure. Because the fact of the matter is, you're already probably working hard enough, right? So what we need to do is to get more out of those hours that we're working. We need to ultimately leverage systems. Systems are things that can allow you to get a lot more done, a lot more efficiently, a lot more effectively, a lot more repeatably, and allow you to delegate and offload things. So if you want to get more done without working more hours, systems are one of those things to do. And it's especially important from a sales and marketing perspective to make sure that you're always generating revenue and doing so without always having to be spending so much time and energy there. So a system can be anything. It could be a template that helps make your job easier so you don't have to recreate the wheel every single time. It could be a checklist to follow. It could be a particular way that you run your sales conversations. It could be an SOP, which is a standard operating procedure. It could be some automation or software or tech program that you use. Like there's so many different forms of systems, but ultimately what this allows you to do is to, again, get more done of the tasks that you do over and over again, which are most things in your business. So if you get something to work, turn it into a business or turn it into a system, leverage that. And you'll be able to get a lot more done yourself and be able to delegate off much more. And it'll just open up so much more. So we see this being so incredibly important from a sales and marketing perspective, so that you can continue to focus on additional levers that are going to drive the growth of the business.
Man, this makes so much sense to me. I feel like it's so much easier to learn about things through like systems and frameworks too. And to me, that was, I don't know when I came across this, but like as soon as I started to read more about frameworks, I was like, this is almost what I want to learn from other people. Like when they've done it, it's like, what are your systems and frameworks? You can tell me about all the cool things that you're doing, but like, yeah, what's actually happening behind in the back end of like how you're getting to these results. So love that you're teaching people about this, Austin.
So what are some of your favorite systems and frameworks, Austin?
There's so many, but let's go from a marketing perspective. If you get something to work in marketing, which a lot of what you try in marketing will fail, right? But if you get something to work, the thing is, do more of that. So if you want to do more of that, then you want to leverage systems to be able to be more efficient, more effective with that. There's also general systems from a framework perspective, as Arthur's talking about here. So the one that we do, and I break it down in my book that we're giving away as a prize from 6 to 7 figures, is our strategy framework. We call it Model 1. It's, are you selling the right people, the right products at the right price with the right positioning, using the right pathways? So it's just a basic, simple structure that you can go through and analyze. Okay, am I serving the right people? Am I really clear on who that is and what their pains are and what their desires are? And if you just go and get a little bit more clear and specific on that one, that leads into so much more clarity, so much more connection, so much more traction with your marketing. Same thing if we go into the next one with products. Same thing with price. So if you just use that as a simple structure, you're going to make a much more clear business model, much more clear for what you're going to do from a sales and marketing perspective. So those are two totally different realms of actually leveraging systems and automation and swipes and templates and tools to get more done, and also using frameworks to help guide and improve particular areas of your business and your approach. Those are two totally different things, but at the same time, those are both systems. So those are a couple examples to start.
So AP asked, question, what systems do you see that SaaS companies are missing in sales and marketing? Arthur and Austin. When it comes to systems, I think of a brilliant mentor, Jen Berggren, MBA, who taught me the importance of systems from an operation standpoint.
We don't work with a ton of SaaS companies. I've got a couple ideas, but Arthur, I'll throw it over to you first.
Yeah, I think the easy one is probably the inbound. I can point to that. Here's what I'll mention though. Coming back into sales now and carrying a bag. I can tell you, after the first month, I was like really looking at my own systems and recognizing that there's a huge gap after that first demo call, right? Of like, I send them the follow-up email. Hopefully we have something on the books, but like we know nowadays, buying committee probably exists of 5+ people. So if I'm not multi-threading and inviting people into the conversation, continuing that and getting other people to see the product, chances of me closing that are pretty slim to none. So I really started focusing on like digital sales rooms and bringing that together and making my this was always a fault of mine, even back in the day when I was an AE, like the week follow-up game, not really knowing how to like standardize that. So I think I'm noticing that even amongst our own sales team, when I was asking other sales reps, it still seems to be kind of that status quo of like, send an email, hopefully set up a next call. But it seems like there's a huge missing piece of like how to keep that buyer, that seller conversation going after that first call, right? Of like, okay, do I just send you a contract? There's so much more that needs to happen to that. So I think it comes down to so many things like the proper diagnosis of it. But to your question, AP, I think there's a huge missing gap in terms of the systems or really like, the selling framework that happens after that first call. I think a lot of it is left up to luck, or you're putting a lot of, hope into that your champion can sell this internally. Sometimes they can, but I'd say more oftentimes they can't. And that's why most deals end up in status quo of saying, do we really need to change? Can we just keep doing what we're doing? Yeah. So I think that's a huge missing gap that I'm very excited about exploring more of like, how do you continue that sale after the first call?
Yeah, I love that. The follow-up systems are such low-hanging fruit. I was recently, not in the SaaS world, but in the coaching world, I had somebody pitch me on $150,000 6-month coaching program, which is top tier. If you don't know the coaching world, like that's like a pretty expensive package, right? And he's built very successful businesses, but this guy followed me up and followed me up and followed me up and followed me up about 10 times more than probably any other coaching experience I've ever had. And that goes to show you the importance of follow-up, and his success is largely attributed to his experience in the SaaS world and his follow-up. So I wanted to share that as an example. But another one that is, I think, underutilized is actually before the first call. We call it 80% sold, is having a systematic approach to get somebody hot and ready and interested so that they can close and close quickly. Because a lot of times your sales cycle can be, one of the biggest killers of your business and cash flow. But if you can close people much, much faster, you're effectively doubling the number of businesses that you can get. So we call it 80% sold to get them 80% so that they can almost show up on the call and the demo, and they have so many of their questions answered, and they have a clear pain that they're trying to solve, that they're basically with their credit card out, right? If you can get them hot and ready, that makes the sales team look like heroes. So that's one thing that I think is underutilized as well.
Yeah, I just to dig into that. I noticed that too, Austin, like coming back in, I was like, man, I want to make that better, because especially maybe I'm taking a lot of what we've done in marketing for granted here at Chili Piper, because there is a good amount of volume for inbound leads, and you can kind of say, okay, I have a next call coming up. I don't necessarily have to put as much emphasis on this one, but it really kind of hurt me from the marketing perspective. And now getting back into the sales seat of like, how do I make that process better? Even give them an idea of what we're going to be talking about, like you said, to get them kind of hot and excited about what we're about to discover and how we can affect their business. And I think there's so many ways in which you can do that. So definitely a system I'm looking to implement so that we can get them 80% of the way there, but definitely a gap that I notice almost immediately coming back into sales and recognizing that, I need to step up my pre-call game, because right now I'm just showing up to the call and I do a little bit of research, but there's so much more that you can do.
Mm, mm, mm.
All great points. And we have 2 more hot topics to get into still in the hour, as well as prizes to give away, which really quick, definitely put in marketing rocks because there's only 1 entry there. 0 entries on prize 2. Biz efficiency is important. You could say because 1 entry on prize 3, 2 entries on prize 4, 1 entry on prize 5, 1 entry on prize 6, and 3 entries on prize 7 with the guests. So definitely make sure that you're entering to win these prizes. But we're going to be getting into these hot topics a little more right after these messages.
Hey, Whiskey Wednesday. This is Steven, and I'm one of the founders and CEO of Luna.ai. A bit about us. Luna is an all-in-one B2B sales platform, meaning that we're using AI to find your perfect leads, scour the entire internet to find every piece of information there is to find, and then use this information to write mind-blowing sales emails. And they're not just random emails, because Luna learns from all of your feedback and all of your preferences to write emails just like you would have done it yourself. And the best part is, as soon as you've trained Luna enough, you'll unlock autonomous mode, meaning that Luna will start reaching out to prospects on your behalf. Well, we are super excited to be part of Whiskey Wednesday, and we're looking forward to welcoming a few lucky viewers and have them win a premium account with us. And if you're not one of these lucky viewers, no problem at all, because we also have a free plan which you can use to take Luna for a spin. See you soon.
Hey there! In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a WordPress website using the Divi theme. So years ago, when I first wanted to build a website, I was so lost when trying to figure out what I needed, which settings were important, and what tools to use. I really wanted someone to walk me through step by step and to show me which buttons to push. I was able to find someone to support me through that, and I wanted to extend that same level of support to you to help you get started on the right foot. So in this video, we're going to go over how to connect your domain and hosting, installing WordPress, installing a premium theme that I love called Divi, and important plugins that I install on every single website, and then what settings to use for those plugins as well as the theme. So if at any point you're thinking to yourself, it'd be so cool if someone would just do this for me, you can just pause the video at that point and scroll down so you see my guided DIY package. And I'm happy to set all this up, plus assist you as you build your website.
If you have a business or a side project, you need a virtual assistant. If you want free time or fun time, you need a virtual assistant. Virtual assistants can do everything from answering emails, managing your calendar, or even calling your mom. I run my own agency, I have e-commerce stores, and I still have time to travel, hang out with friends and family, and even pick up new hobbies because my virtual assistants take up my day-to-day work. If you're interested in trying out virtual assistant, play our game with Whiskey Wednesdays and enter the prize to see if you win 10 hours with one of our best virtual assistants. Thanks Whiskey Wednesdays for having us.
What's up, Whiskey Wednesday? Anish here from the Wishley Group. Huge shout out to Jesse and the team for what you built here. It's truly special. I'm one of the founding members of Rev Genius. Took us from 0 to 5,000 members. And now I get to work with folks like Morgan Ingram and Kevin Dorsey on scaling out their business operations. And that's exactly what the Wishley Group's about. We help small, medium-sized companies scale out their businesses by helping them out with sales and marketing efforts. That's really what we're about. And we know a lot of folks in this audience are those revenue professionals. You're either a founder, a marketer, a sales leader, or sales rep even. And we know that everyone has their own fair share of struggles. For those who don't know, I'm also ex-Pinterest and ex-Coca-Cola. I worked on some of the biggest accounts in the world, closed $50 million in B2B high-ticket sales just myself. Really appreciate you having me here, and cheers, everybody. Have fun.
Big thanks to our sponsors for believing in Whiskey Wednesday. We are still looking for sponsors. We have a couple more slots available for the 2024 annual slots. I am excited to share we've closed the biggest sponsor in our history for 2024, and I'll be announcing that soon, coordinating with them. But yeah, the show must go on for one more year. And for now, we still have 2 more hot topics. So let's get right into it. So, Arthur, mastering the disco demo process, key steps for effective engagement. Can you kick us off on this one?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many places we can go to with this one. And I think Austin even mentioned it. Like a lot of it is even before you meet the prospect, right? What you're doing. I'll tell you guys, and for those of you familiar with Nick Capozzi, he really taught me how to kind of build rapport. It sounds silly. I was probably decent at it, but after talking with him and seeing how he did it, I slowly became known as the king of rapport building at Chili Piper as an AE. And if you look at Gong recordings, I was spending probably twice as long building rapport. But really what I was trying to do was get them comfortable talking, because I knew if they would open up at the beginning of the conversation, it really let me ask those tough questions later down the line, and they'd be much more comfortable sharing information that maybe they felt a little bit more guarded sharing with another sales rep. So honestly, it's pretty simple. What I do is I pull up their LinkedIn profile, I scan something that like stands out to me that I know, like, wow, that's really interesting. Austin, you're like a 4 times founder. Like, and I might even just ask, like, where did this happen while you were working at this company and you saw there was like efficiency issues here? Or what is that story, right? Or I'm finding something that I know is of interest to me, and then just leading with that and saying, hey, before we even get into this, I saw on your LinkedIn that, yeah, you either just started this role or you came from this and you seem like you're a perfect hire. It sounds so simple. Nobody starts sales calls with this. And I know this because so many people have told me nobody starts sales calls like this. And we're talking for like 10 minutes early on before I'm even getting into asking them any questions. So that's a simple one. Going into discovery. And I think we do at Chili Piper, we do discovery and demo on one call. I hate splitting it up. Again, thinking about the customer experience, like, cool, I got all my questions. Now let me customize the demo. I think there has to be a little bit of a show and tell, and you don't have to do a full demo, but you can just go in and say, hey, based on your situation, this is how I'm thinking we can help. Give them a little teaser, get them like wanting that next second call and saying, hey, let me show you what this product is really capable of. And now that I know your situation, we go into it. So I'm a huge fan of doing both in one call. But before even getting to the demo, I like to really ask how they're getting the job done today, because people are getting from point A to point B. But really the Jedi mind trick there is asking them, why not continue doing that? And you'll start to hear them sell themselves to you and saying why they cannot continue doing that way or what they've tried. And that's really what you have to listen for as a sales rep, because again, most people are happy with the status quo. There's tons of change management happening there. And if you're not really getting a clear answer as like, why not keep doing that way, chances are you're probably not going to win that deal. So you really want to hear what they've done before, why not continue doing that way, and hear how much of a pain it's been for them before getting into how you can potentially help them. Otherwise, you're probably going to lose that deal at a status quo. So those are a couple of things that came to mind, Jesse, in terms of, how to really make your disco demo a little bit more effective.
Yeah, I love that. And Andrew asked a question here: How do you keep a prospect engaged? One thing that I'll add on to what you just shared there, Arthur, which I think is so good, is our head of sales says the best close is a good open. So the more that you can open well and really, really connect and understand their pain and their visions, the easier it is all the way throughout. Because if you don't do that, then you're just kind of like scrapping and clawing and trying to pull them through the whole thing. But if you can open really well and strategically, then I feel like it makes the rest of the journey a little bit easier there as well. But I love that you're doing those check-ins to see how they would apply it and reversing it so they start to sell themselves of how they would use it, and basically selling themselves internally and to you is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And just to add on to that, to your question there, AP, I think like it's so, to me, and this is how I think about marketing too, of like status quo, current state, and what's that desired future state. So how are they doing it today, right? Understanding their process. And then when you're demoing, showing that, okay, so you know how that took you 5 clicks, or sometimes it takes you up to 5 hours. Let me just show you this here. You can see here with a couple clicks, we're able to do that exact same job within a matter of seconds. And then you ask them, how does that compare to your current process? And then just shut up. Now they're getting to see, okay, I know he knows my current state. This is what I can do within a couple of clicks. And again, you're really like kind of showing the feature, but really getting them to see the benefit of it, because you're very clear on, this is how you're doing it today. This is how you can do it with my tool. How does that compare? And then just kind of stop there and let them fill in the gap. So it's another tip, as like you're showing that in that demo, you're not just going through and saying, this is everything we can do. It's always kind of this push pull of like, okay, I heard you. This is how you're doing it today. This is how you do it with my tool. What do you think? Great. Now you mentioned this other piece here, how it takes you a long time to find these reports. Let me show you these pre-built out reports today. How would that help you in terms of sending that weekly report to your manager? So you're really like teeing it up for, I know how you're doing it today. How is that going to be better in your world? And hopefully, continuing to get them to sell themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You're really guiding the conversation. That's all good stuff. And as soon as you said tip, I pulled up the tip jar QR code. So that was kind of ironic, but we've got another hot topic here. And so I'm going to transition us really quick to that other topic, but would love to hear from the audience. I know we've got Dean, we've got AP, Carrie, all great questions. Be sure that you're entering to win the prizes as well. But Austin, on our final topic for the night, before we get into the guru of the week and giving away these prizes as well, the importance of strategy to impact sales and marketing.
Yeah.
Can you kick us off here?
Absolutely. So a lot of people are thinking about tactical things. They're thinking about, hey, what's the latest tool, or what's this one thing that I can do differently? And those are going to make maybe incremental results. But the thing that we always go back to is the strategy from a high level. Are we really clear on who we serve? Do we understand that clientele in excruciating detail? Do we know them almost better than they know themselves, right? Are we really mapping out the customer journey? Are we being really strategic and intentional? The quote that was attributed to Abraham Lincoln says, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Well, getting your strategy right and spending time on strategy is that sharpening of the axe. That's the 80-20 that makes everything else that you do from a marketing standpoint so much more strategic, so get you so much more attraction. And a great thing with a great strategy is that it's simple, that it's focused. And if you just take a step back, and especially this time of year, to really evaluate your strategy and approach and what you can do better from a high level before you go into the tactical stuff, you're going to save yourself so much heartache and ultimately get a lot more traction with your sales and marketing as well. So that's one of the big things that we do, and it just makes a monumental impact in the traction that we see.
Ooh, yeah, those are all really great points. What would you add to that, Arthur?
I just that, like, I see this happening time and time again, right? And people are so worried about like, the next big thing, or Jesse, you probably heard this all the time. Oh, we need to be on TikTok. Like, really? Like, do people even know what your company does? Are you really nailing any other channel? Like, why rush to do something that you don't even have a strategy for? And it's just because you heard, or like, a lot of people are migrating to that. I think this happens time and time again, where you're not thoughtful about like, what is the message we're actually trying to communicate? Or in my case, like how I think about it is like, how are we attacking the status quo, right? How are people getting the job done today? And how can we illuminate a better way of doing that? If we have a strategy around that, and it so happens that our audience is on TikTok, and we have somebody that is pretty good on video and creating short video skits and knowing how to appeal to people, okay, then it maybe makes part of like going down that rabbit hole. But I think like you just see it so much of people spreading themselves thin and being like, what can we try that's new? And it's like, oh, let's stick to the fundamentals and let's build a solid foundation before we go down this rabbit hole of trying out different tactics or new channels.
You could definitely say that again. And I apologize. I like accidentally opened a browser as I'm like trying to produce. And so, let me pull back Austin back in here. There's just, a lot out there. I'm seeing Renee's popping in here. Hi, Renee. Would love to hear what you all have to say about what Austin and Arthur have really shared on both of these topics. Right now, we're on the 4th topic, the importance of strategy to impact marketing and sales. And in my masterclass today, I started with strategy, and that's the boring part, but it's so easy. At the end of the day, it's like, just come back to the basics, right? And we have to start with that, because why are we here? Otherwise, we're just posting, and we can get into the tactics. And I'm afraid that a lot of people do just jump right to the tactics right away, without really thinking about, why are we here? Why are we doing this?
And you're exactly right with the word boring. Like, a lot of times we want to go to the shiny thing, the newest thing, the AI thing, the tool thing, the whatever. Like, our brain, our lizard brain loves that stuff, right? Like, it's just like the dopamine hit. Whereas instead, like, let's slow things down. Excuse me. Let's go back and let's just really reflect from a high level, and then let's get super laser focused. And AP asked a good question: is like, how do people generate a strategy and then keep people aligned and clear on that? Well, one of the best things that we find is a great quarterly rhythm to do quarterly planning. So you come back up for air, you evaluate everything, you reevaluate everything that you're doing, and then you get super laser focused with the strategic plan. And then you have plans to back it up. You've got numbers and accountability in place, and you get everybody super focused. And then everybody's aligned and clear, and you're making progress, and you're building systems so that next quarter it's even easier, and the next quarter it's even easier. And if you do that, where you get really strategic and intentional and have accountability and focus from an execution standpoint, and you have a systems mentality, like, you just get better and better and better every single quarter. And those quarters stack up on top of each other to make your life easier, to have you make more money, and all the things that everybody ultimately wants,
Totally. And I appreciate everyone's comments, including yours, Carrie. She says, I'm doing a great job, because I was like stumbling, accidentally clicked Safari, and it was like popping up. I'm like, I can't switch cameras. But yeah, no, you're right. And like, everybody wants it to be like, they want to jump to the TikTok, right? Like you were saying, Arthur, like the shiny thing, but just take a deep breath and let's just take it back to the basics. But we still have some prizes to give away. Let me put all of us a little bit smaller over here so I can put these prizes back up here. This is what you need to be entering to win. We have longer keywords this week, so let me tell you really quick, because we have 7 minutes. Prize 1, Marketing Rocks Because. We have 1 entry here. So if someone could enter to win Marketing Rocks Because, you might win 1 week of my program along with Kiwi Writer, 10 blogs on Kiwi Writer is an AI tool. And then prize 2 has 1 entry. Biz efficiency is important. And this is a 30-minute biz consulting meeting with DJ Kim himself, with Cherry Assistant, one of the smartest people I know. VAs and Email for the Win Because has 1 entry. AI for Email Because has 2 entries. VAs and Email for the Win Because has 1 entry. Headsets Are Great Because has 1 entry. And I Love Sales has 4 entries. So real quick, while we're talking about prizes and both of you are here, could you tell the guests a little bit about the prize that you so graciously shared with our audience tonight? So we have 4 people who entered to win on prize 7, I Love Sales. And one of them is from Chili Piper, and one of them is from you, Austin. It's a book. So I'm going to just pull this down here for a second, or better yet, I'm going to go out of screen so I can keep both of you up there and all of these so you can all enter to win these. But could you share with our audience, both of you, on these prizes that you're giving away?
Yeah, happy to kick us off. So I don't know why our hot sauce has gained like some sort of cult following, but people love it. It has a funny little tagline. It says, "Light your sass on fire." It kills at trade shows. Rumor has it that Michael Tuso actually tried 82 different hot sauces before settling on this one. So yeah, lots of goodness here. And every time we give one out, people are always asking, how do I get more of this? Are you going to start selling it online? Maybe, if the demand continues to keep up. So that's what we're giving away, the world famous Chili Piper hot sauce.
I love that. What we're giving away here is the book, From 6 to 7 Figures. This isn't just a pamphlet. This thing is like a nice meaty book. If you're a small business owner or an online entrepreneur, it's going to guide you step by step on how to really simplify things, how to get way more out of your time, get free from the weeds, and ultimately scale past that magic $1 million mark. Only 4% of small businesses ever exceed $1 million in revenue. Few do so with time freedom and great profits as well. So our goal is to teach some of the principles and strategies and systems that will help you get there fast, get there a lot easier. So would love to ship that out, give that out, and would love for anybody to read that.
Sounds awesome. Sounds like I need to get myself a copy of that, Austin.
It'll be in the mail.
Absolutely. Yeah. And for folks who don't win, where can they find a copy of it?
Amazon. So we've got another book as well, the 2-week vacation test. So if you're looking to take back control of your time, this book is a great one. But they're also available on our website at 2x.co. We've got a bunch of free resources there for entrepreneurs. So if you're looking to scale, if you're looking to get more traction, if you're looking to free up time, we focus on scaling through operational excellence. So I would love to give you some free resources and guidance. And the books are a great resource that we got a lot of feedback on. So we'd love to share those.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. What about you, Arthur? Are people able to find the hot sauce on like Amazon or something?
I don't think so.
No.
This is like reserved for our favorites, for the followers and attendees of Whiskey WinsDay. So it's in demand. We often run out, and we're reaching out to our vendors, being like, "Hey, we need to ship a whole another 1,000 to the warehouse because they sell out pretty quick." So.
I love it. It made for some fun email subject lines for our newsletter, having you coming on from Chili Piper. It was like super hot and spicy,
Yeah.
But yes, definitely continue to enter to win these because we have now the guru of the week. Ooh, ooh. And I'm losing my voice, or I would continue to sing that. I still sing it every week because we love to have guests on and have you introduce our audience to new people. So I'm going to go ahead and do a quick drum roll and bring up their names. Here they both are. So could you both tell our audience why they should go follow both of these people? And I'll start with you, Arthur, since you're already up there.
Sure. So I am recommending my good friend, Carl Ferreira. Some of you may know him as the first director of sales at Refine Labs. I feel like they took over the B2B marketing world by storm. He's actually back in the field again, carrying a quota. He's now an enterprise account exec at Colab. But the way this guy thinks about sales, he's way ahead of the game. He's giving people insights into how he goes about doing it. I love the way he thinks about it. He has very high business acumen, and I think unfortunately sometimes that's a little lacking in today's sales and marketing world. So definitely give Carl a follow. You'll learn a thing or two. You'll see how he's going about selling and how he's building trust along that process. So he's a fantastic guy. He's got it all: humor, intelligence. Big fan of Carl.
Awesome. Carl, definitely go tag Carl, give him some love. He's doing some big things. And how about you, Austin? Tell us about Chandler.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my man, Chandler Bolt. He's one of my best friends in the world, a great entrepreneur. And we talked about books a little bit today. He teaches people how to write and publish their books. He runs selfpublishing.com, which self-publishing it allows, so many people to be authors these days. And he's guiding so many people and making an impact in the world. You can see a lot of books behind me. Books changed my life. Now I try to change people's lives through writing a few books as well. And Chandler's doing some great work there at selfpublishing.com. So awesome entrepreneur in person and friend. And I would definitely recommend checking them out as well.
Oh, I love that. Well, I just tagged them both in the comments, and I hope everyone else in the audience will too. You have a few more minutes to ask us some questions, but I think I'm just going to start giving away some prizes. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And Marketing Rocks Because. We've got 3 entries here on Marketing Rocks Because. And it's either Dean, AP, or I think I see Carrie in there. And who's it going to be? AP. Congratulations,
Let's go.
AP. And AP is actually already in there. So AP, you get to re-gift that to someone. And I'm very grateful to have AP in the Taking Up Space program. You may not already have Kiwi Writer AP, so you may want Kiwi Writer. the AI tool. So biz efficiency is important. Ooh, we don't have enough on that one yet. So not going to give that one away just yet. Let's see. I love sales because, should we do that one? Or headsets are great because AI for email, VAs and email for the win because we have 2 entries. It's AP or Dean. Who's it going to be? Dean, congratulations, Dean. If you could visit reviting.com/winner, if you win, we'll collect your details and we'll connect you with the brands via email. But let me go ahead and give some more of these away. Let's see. Congratulations, Dean. Just came across that screen. I love sales. I'm seeing that one. Headsets. AI for email. There's 4 here. Renee. AP, Dean.
Let's go, Renee.
You can see Topher in there. Renee.
Yes.
Congratulations, Renee. And Renee is with Cherry Assistant. She is a VA with Whiskey Wednesday. So I'm very excited for you, Renee. Let's go ahead and give away another prize because why not? Keep entering to win if these are. So biz efficiency is important. Still needs a few more entries. Headsets are great because go ahead and enter that. VAs and email for the win. There are 2 entries, Dean or AP. I'm thinking it's going to go to Dean. I don't know though. AP swept last week and this week. AP, congratulations. If you already have this one, of course, you can re-gift anything from these because I know you swept last week too, man. He's like lucky on this StreamYard giveaway tool. But we have a few more and I want to make sure we give away the guest prizes so you can see them.
Jesse, could we go ahead and give away the book if that's okay? I'm going to have to jump here in a second.
Yes, let's do that right now. I think that will be the last one we'll do tonight, actually. And then I want to make sure that you both share how people can reach you after the show as well. But let's give away the book and the chili sauce. What is it called? Yes, chili sauce. Dean, Topher, AP. Dean, congratulations.
Let's go, Dean.
Dean, killing it.
Yeah, he is.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for entering to win. So both of you, how could our viewers follow up with you after the show if they wanted to reach you?
Go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, the best place to find me is Instagram. It's at Netzley, my last name, Netzley. I post a little bit there, a lot of lifestyle stuff, a little bit of business stuff. And then also our website is very simple, 2x.co. Number 2, letter x.co. Check us out there. We got a bunch of resources and we'd love to share the book and everything else. So Instagram or the website, we'd love to see you there.
Well, we really appreciate having you on the show, Austin. We do have an after party, reviting.com/after party. If you're able to tune back in, we'll be on there for an hour following the show. It just redirects you to a Zoom. But also want to pass this off to you, Arthur. How can the viewers reach you after the show if they want to connect?
Yeah, I feel like the only social media I'm on these days is LinkedIn. So definitely, feel free to connect with me on there. Talk about anything sales, marketing. I'm a nerd about this stuff. I could probably talk about it all night. So yeah, it's been awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Jesse. I think the production has been fantastic. I'm surprised at how quickly this hour has gone by, but yeah, very nice tuning in. Had a great time.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, the hour goes by so fast. So we would love to have both of you. I know you might have to roll. It's late, but if you can, again, reviting.com/after party. The audience joins us for an hour on a Zoom and we just, pass it around. Everybody meets each other and then we get their feedback on what they thought about the show and go from there. But thank you everybody for coming to Whiskey Wednesday tonight. And until next week, when we have on some more great guests, I hope you all have a great week and I'll go ahead and close this out and see you at the after party.
Bye.